It's hot today, man. Or it's hot in my room. I don't know. Or maybe I'm having heat flashes. Menopause, bro. I got menopause.
It happens, especially at your age.
Fuck you, buddy.
Welcome to episode 18.
Episode 18.
18. Let's see. Who did we get tonight?
John Rose. So this is another production episode because we haven't done one in a while, and it's it's coming on a year since we last got to do our jobs, and so actually that's today. Today, a year ago today, was the last day I had a gig.
Yeah.
And, so that's kind of weird, but we needed to be doing some more production shows anyway, so
Right.
we're going to be doing a couple more.
It was cool talking to John, man. It's good seeing other guys in the same business,
Right.
struggling. Not good to see him struggle, but it's good to see
surviving.
Right.
Making it through the struggle, yeah.
Right. And so it was pretty spirit lifting for me, man. Not to talk into bands, is it? But it's just nice to see other people in the same job boat. You know what I mean? The same pirate ship, if you will, that we're in. And it was good.
It's different, It's different than a lot of people's situation.
Right. Yeah. One of the big differences, we didn't have the option to. Well, we'll try and go back at 10% and shit like that. We didn't get none of that. It's down, and it's
we didn't get a bailout like the banks did, like the auto industry, like the home mortgage industry. We didn't get bailouts.
Right. So yeah, it was cool talking to him, man. I'm glad to see he's in good spirits and looking forward to the future.
I'm excited to hear what he got calls for.
Yeah,
he got some calls. He said.
I'm excited.
Shit he can't talk about.
So other than that, not a whole lot going on. Colorado's getting dumped on with snow, I guess.
Dumped on. Here's the forecast: 1.5 to 51 inches.
It seems like that could be the forecast any day of the week in fucking wintertime there.
That could be the forecast for the afternoons here.
So let's see. What's today's the 13th? It'll be the 15th when this come out. There might be a new riff rag out by that point or soon.
I think
around
there's
that time.
Didn't they just do one?
I haven't got one in my inbox that I've seen.
Oh.
But it might be there. Maybe I just haven't seen it yet. But nonetheless, we are sponsored by the Riff Rag,
covering local music all across Colorado.
That's right. And make sure you stay to the end of this video. Not only is J Rose a super interesting interview, he's fun to talk to. We got something special, I hope, at the end of this video. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Just make sure you stick through to the end, check it all out, and enjoy Mr. John Rose.
Episode 18.
J Rose.
Oh, J Rose.
What up?
What's up, my rigger?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Look at you, buddy. You look fit.
Oh, we're trying. I gained a bunch of weight during this whole thing, so I've been going to the gym for the past few months.
Who fucking didn't?
Yeah, right. Trying to get back into shape and get ready for a gig season, hopefully.
Hopefully.
How have you guys been?
Fucking, I had to go get a fucking day job, man.
I was close.
I work from home and shit. It's fucking dumb. But
yeah.
I had no choice, man. You know what I mean? Fucking pivot or die.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had to do the same. I don't enjoy it much, but I mean, what can you do,
yeah.
But
And I might have a slight drinking problem now, so I don't know.
That's all right. You know, we gotta get rid of our vices somehow.
Somehow I went from beer to bourbon, and now I think I have a problem.
Well, the first step is admitting it, right?
All right, so welcome everybody. We're here with Jay Rose.
It's episode 18.
Episode 18.
And instead of a band this week, we're going to talk some production talk because we haven't been concentrating on that very much lately. So, you know, there's a lot of fucking scuttlebutt going on, and there's some shit happening in various parts of the country, but you know, I'm still keeping my 1 foot in it and 1 foot out of it. So hopefully it means good news for people like our guest tonight, John Rose, because he's, in the true sense of the word, he's a fucking pirate. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, we're coming up on, what is it, 2 days from now? Is it? Yep, 2 days from today.
Yep.
Will be the official 1 year that it closed down. Last gig I worked was March 6th of last year.
We did a loadout at Mission, the last thing we did, right, John?
Yeah, we did a load in. And then it was Keene, I think, at the Mission. And we did a load in, had everything hung. We were like, hey, like, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. You know, the governor's about to talk. And
oh, you actually went back. You were actually mid doing.
Oh shit! I was there the 13th. Yeah, I was there the 13th, and yeah, we were gonna do a show that night because, let's see, I worked the Ogden. Oh, so this is the 6th. The 6th. I was mixing 3-6 Mafia at the Fillmore, which was dope as fuck.
Right.
That was my last mixing at the Fillmore. My last gig was that Mission show, Keene, and then but my last full show was at the Ogden the night before, which was Thundercat, which was just amazing.
Fucking A.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember like on March 13th, we all loaded in, and then we were just like kind of taking our time because we kind of knew, you know, because the night before it had become national that everything was shutting down. So we were just still kind of going with it, you know, and I think it was Lauren Laramie's production or her gig, and we were just like watching the governor talk, and as soon as he was like, yeah, we're shutting everything down, no capacity, you know, capacity limits and all that, and it was like, boom, time for loadout. And like, it was weird telling the tour that because they didn't like really believe us, you know. They're like, what? No, come on, we're having a show, we're gonna try to have a show. It took them some talking for a little while, them talking to their production and everything, for them to get this, but yeah, like, it's really not happening.
Crazy. Yeah, 13th. I was doing JoJo CY at the fucking arena.
That's right. You know?
Yeah, down where I'm at, we were loading in Kiss. They just come down here. I want to say I was like on maybe the 10th or 11th, maybe the 12th. We had their stuff loading in, and it ended up all getting canceled in the middle of that. So it kind of loaded it in, loaded them right back out. And
well, we had to repack a truck. It's like, oh, okay, like, we're loading out and there's no more shows. Now we got to repack.
Gear split, right?
Yeah.
Fucking gear split.
It's like, oh, it's all right. We don't got a gig now, so no worries.
We got time.
Yeah.
We got time to figure it out.
So Jay, how'd you get into this business?
Just a love of music, you know. Just love live music, and then I started working at the Black Sheep as a bouncer, and then working there, you know, we had you know, major names and stuff come through, and with that, you know, you help out, you know, being a smaller venue, so you know, you don't have real stage hands, you don't have real, you know, you had Chris Forsyth, which was, you know, who carried everything around that place. We had shows because of him. And, you know, so as being security and being around the venue a lot, they asked for us to help with load-ins and, you know, bringing the band gear in and stuff. And, you know, anybody doing that, you know, with the hands-on and stuff, it's like, oh, this is so cool. This is so fun. So you kind of want more of it, you know. And as years progressed, you know, I learned you know, most of what I know from him and from stories. And you know, I have another buddy, you know, Jinx. Everybody knows Jinx pretty well in the stagehand world. He kind of,
Fuck Diggs. I
he
miss
got me
I
up
mean, I
in-
miss that guy.
yeah, I mean, he used to assist with like the load-ins and stuff at the Black Sheep because he would know, you know, how to do things over some of us other, you know, just security guards or whatever. And then he kind of took me under his wing and started taking me to Denver and doing gigs up there. And has been working the gig life ever since. About 11 years now. Not as long as some of you, of course, but and I'm not saying that you guys are old or anything.
Whatever.
Oh, we're old. We're old.
Shut up, kid.
How many places you working at up in Denver, or have you worked out up there?
Shit.
So I was doing Fillmore for Live Nation, and then I worked all the AEG venues like Bluebird, Gothic, Ogden, and Mission.
Gotcha. Did you get to do any like monitor work or front of house up in those places?
Oh yeah, both at all places. I prefer doing monitors just because I like to work for 5 people instead of work for 4,000. But you know, I'm happy to take you know, to work wherever I'm needed.
Right.
So I know you rig and I know you do sound. So
Mhm.
what are you? Were you a rigger first and then learn sound, or were you a sound guy first and then learn rigging?
So it's kind of intermixed. So with the smaller shows at the Black Sheep, we'd have like small LED walls come in, and you know, that's where I would learn about span sets and shackles and all that, right ways to do things. While I worked at Black Sheep, I also worked at the Fillmore. I've been with the Fillmore since 2012 maybe, and so then you have bigger LED walls come in, and you have more span sets, things to take note of, and weight and knots that you got to tie. And, you know, you have up riggers and down riggers. So I started doing a lot of like down rigging stuff, you know, learning my knots and setting stuff up. And I mean, Fillmore's trim is not, you know, it's 17 feet from the stage, but it's not like you know, it's not like Ball Arena or Red Rocks or Mission, you know, where it's 40 feet plus.
They get a new grid in there, or are they still using that fucking Stageco fucking grid that we put in there way back when they renovated first time?
Yeah. They definitely have an older rig. There was a lot of talk, you know, people did come in and, you know, we were trying to figure out a new setup, a new, you know, in there all together. And with that came new structure up there. But I think it is still that like triangle.
The Stageco triangle truss,
Yeah.
Stageco roof truss and shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And really, you know, rigging is like, other than that, like rigging is like my newest adventure into the gig world. You know,
Well, you're a
working
fucking
for
natural at it, dude. True.
Thanks,
really,
man.
Yeah, really, man. I mean,
working, you know, we got invited to start helping out with the Mission and stuff and getting all that production, and working with Ryan, who's just really awesome, really patient, and just wants to teach everybody stuff. And, you know, so I soaked all that in, and he's like, "You want to climb?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Afraid of heights?" I'm like,
good.
"You know, yeah, let's just do it," you know. And I bought my own harness and gear, and, you know, it's been a good investment. I got to do X Games, you know, and that was cool. And I got to do this past summer, we did like a one-off gig where we built the steel structure for the drive-in movie theaters at Red Rocks, for the drive-ins.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
For last summer. And we were supposed to take it down last October, but I don't know, we never got a call. It might still be there, I don't know, I haven't been there. It might still be standing.
How do you feel about the new roof they're getting? It looks pretty fucking dope.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It looks real cool, and I know the rigger Levi and everybody down there are going to be real stoked.
Yep.
Have you, so are those the only couple opportunities you had over this past year to get any work?
Outside of like AEG, yeah. Let's see, I did beginning of last, like June, I think, maybe 2020, we did like another, like an outdoor drive-in concert at the Pikes Peak Raceway between Colorado Springs and Pueblo, south of Fountain on I-25. Built a rig for them. Brown Note showed up with, full production and stuff. And it was like EDM. You had like a car spot, with like a 4-foot sectioned off space next to you. It was a cool concept.
They definitely have space for it.
Yeah, they didn't have the space for it. And, they could fit 1,000 or 2 cars, 1,000 cars probably, and, 4 people per car. And, it's getting close to mission numbers or half Red Rock shows and stuff. So
sure, man. How you been surviving, bro? I mean, were you able to take any advantage of any of these fucking roadie funds or any of that shit?
I didn't apply directly for any roadie funds, but I did receive like a grant from Live Nation as soon as everything happened.
That's
AEG was generous with paying everybody out their shifts for the rest of the month if you're scheduled
nice.
or whatever. There have been plenty of programs and stuff. I hear a lot of people getting denied that have been road dogs forever, which is kind of hard to hear. But luckily the unemployment, the emergency compensation unemployment has helped me. There's those 2 months in that gap that everyone's kind of out of benefits because Colorado fucked up, but
they really did, man.
Yeah, they weren't paying attention.
No,
and then now we got the bill passed today. The president signed the new bill today, and hopefully that'll help things through the summer and focus on getting back to work.
When I realized it was gonna be bad? When fucking Sherwood sent that email out.
Yeah, dude, I almost cried. Like that was such a hard.
That fucking broke my heart, dude. That broke my heart. I was like, no fucking way, man. That means to me that meant that it was really gonna be bad. And you know what?
Right.
I wasn't fucking wrong. Fucking wrong.
Yeah, but he's doing great too, man. He's building
cars. Yeah, man, he's doing what he wants to do. At least, you know what I mean. Fuck it. Fuck waiting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it, but man, I am going to miss him, man.
Yeah, for sure. The telephone's been kind of ringing this past week or two, kind of getting some feelers out. I've been hearing from a lot of stage hands and production crew and production managers and whatnot. Actually got a phone call today. I actually had my first gig booked for the years, but can't say anything about it, but it's cool. It's going to happen. It's a big production.
Nice.
So hopefully,
are you back in Colorado?
I will be in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Where you at right now?
I'm in Boise, Idaho.
Somewhere. Yeah, fucking off Idaho.
Yeah, it sucks here, man. I mean,
like, what are you
if
doing,
you're looking,
it's kind of brown for Idaho, man.
Yeah, for real. It's a lot of militias and old people here.
Yeah.
My wife's family lives here, and with being out of work, she got an opportunity to have a better job out here. So we moved out here until I didn't know when work was going to come back or whatnot.
Fuck.
And now it's coming back and everything. She got an even better job now back home. So we're gonna go home, come back home, and make this summer work. Fully feel that we're gonna be throwing some gigs this summer.
You're feeling pretty good about it, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't have the same. I mean, down here in the Springs, man, you know what I mean? I don't have the same. I can't make the same judgment based on the fucking venues down here, bro, because I mean, other than the smaller venues, which I know are all going to come back strong.
Like
the major
venues
and shit, you know what I mean? I'm like,
the
ones that I'm more involved with and shit are
right.
It's hard to judge, bro.
They're trying to get by, with what they can, and I know that they've been given grants and stuff that they, to help them stay afloat, which is great. I think they got like 50 grand this past time. The Black Sheep itself, I know all the venues and arts and stuff in the Springs all got money from this grant to help out, to kind of keep the lights on and things moving. And they're trying to do new things and kind of spice it up, DJ nights and movie nights and whatever, you know.
Again, pivot or die, right? So I mean,
Exactly.
you gotta learn how to live within the fucking parameters of life as it is today and tomorrow and the next couple of days or whatever. You know what I mean? Till you get some normalcy back. I don't know. I've been drinking.
I've just been kicking back, listening to records and just waiting for it to come back. And I've been getting those phone calls lately, and
that's good.
I got a good feeling.
That's good.
That's
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're getting calls already.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
All I'm getting is fucking spam notices, and I mean, like telemarketers and shit, and fucking, you know, fuck. Come on, call me, motherfuckers. How do you feel about how many people? What do you think is the percentage of people that will not be coming back to our industry?
Dude.
Like I get a sense that there's going to be a little bit of a gap there because the old dudes, not just the old dudes, but a lot of the dudes that weren't in it were only partially pirate. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
I get a sense that there's going to be
weekend warriors.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
Man, I know a lot of people who've moved away.
And away from the business?
Right. One, Colorado, because it's expensive. Two, from the business, because there's not really work, but you head to Florida or Texas or somewhere south, and you know, you're really dedicated to it. You know, you got to adapt and go to work there. So
that's
there's been
Brian,
that,
right?
No. Yeah, and there's I know Ryan's gonna go do a gig for something, rigging gig or something here in the next week or two. You know, somewhere, I forget what it is, but I think it's in New Orleans or something. But you know, these things are popping up here and there, and yeah, I do think a lot of the old school people are like kicking back. Okay, let's just down. It's been weird for everybody because these people haven't had a structure like being at home ever in their life, you know, maybe since they were a child or growing up as a teenager. You're on the road, you're working all the time, you're not at home like we are now, and it really fucks up with a lot of us, and therefore I think people, you know, just had to leave it and go do something else.
Yeah.
Especially if you're only like a weekend warrior or something, there's no way you can afford to like.
No, right. But a lot of people make that work for them. You know what I mean? A lot of people
they have
stagehand part-time and they make it work for them. You know what I mean? But
I
mean, I'm not talking about those people. You know what I mean? I'm talking about motherfuckers that know bus life and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
And then what's bus life going to be like, you know? Like,
right. I mean,
everyone already gets sick if one person's sick anyways on a bus.
I mean, we don't even know yet. We don't even know yet what the requirements are going to end up being to gather large groups of people together. You know what I mean?
You know what I saw?
Is it going to be everybody's got to be vaccinated? You know what I mean?
That's the reality of it, I think.
The reality of our industry, I feel, is if I want to get on a fucking bus, I'm going to have to show a vax card. That's what I feel I'm looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then there's a certain percentage that we're going to lose too for not wanting to be vaccinated. And that's workers and concert goers.
Sure.
And bands.
And bands. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's, you know, I mean, fuck. I mean, if you don't want to, then you don't want to. And that's fine.
I mean, you think the guitar player from Iced Earth wants to get a vaccine? Probably not.
Oh, man.
So do you think like I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to a lot of in our industry, we're gonna have to get a vaccine to get into the building to go work as it is. You think that's ever gonna extend to concert goers as well?
Yeah, it's gonna have to,
at least for a while. I mean, or
yeah, for the time being, you know, and that's, you know, with the CDC just coming out saying that, hey, if you know, vaxxers can now hang out together, you know,
right?
Yeah, so that's a big opportunity and the good news for industry, because if vaxxers can hang out together, then people that want to go see a show can go together because the CDC says it's safe. And let's,
that is a big thumbs up from the CDC
right.
to gather with people that have been vaccinated.
So I think we can start, doing concerts with that, with like a, they call it a passport or like a vaccine passport or whatever. You can put it on your phone, and you have to have it to buy the entrance of the venue itself. Kind of like scanning your concert ticket or something like that.
Right.
But I think we can get concerts to come back slowly with, vaccinated people only. It will encourage people to get vaccinated, probably slightly, but right now, maybe in a couple years we'll see these mixed crowds and not even worry about.
It is going to be a fucking process, though, isn't it, man?
Yeah, and after the first couple months of this, we heard it could be up 2 to 3 years of no gigs, and kind of.
Well, yeah, I mean, fucking Taylor Swift canceled her whole fucking tour this year, right? She had it all planned out, right? They had it all fucking ready to go. All they needed to do was pull the trigger on that motherfucker, and she's like, nope. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, oh, damn. If fucking Taylor Swift is canceling her tour already, I was waiting to start seeing all the bands follow her up in the next following days.
See what warehouses look right now.
Luckily, you know what I mean? Luckily, it didn't happen. But I feel that the real saving force is going to be the mid-sized and smaller venues, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I really think that's going to be it.
And outdoor venues.
Outdoor venues are going to be great. Yeah, sheds are
like
always
Red Rocks, like Red Rocks, and at the other amphitheater.
Fiddlers, yeah.
Maybe we always find places to throw a show outside.
Yeah, that is the better option right now.
Yeah.
Down here where I'm at, I'm down in Mississippi, and there's not a whole lot outside of like the casinos and stuff, and it's hard to get into the casinos, even with the kind of experience I have. It's you gotta be in with the group that's already in there, kind of thing.
Are they mostly union houses, casinos?
Not that I know of, not as far as I know. No. Matter of fact, I haven't seen a whole lot of union houses down here. Because like I said, Rhino just took over the arena that's down here, and that's who I started working for down here. Hopefully I'll get a chance to, get over into New Orleans and any surrounding states. Everything down here is so close together that it might be a little easier, but I forgot where I was going with that. I had a point to what I was saying. I fucking lost it just that quick.
And he's not even drinking.
Are you a musician at all?
No, not at all. I'm more of like a science nerd.
John is a nerd. He knows some shit that he'll pop off some shit that'll even make you go, what? Okay.
In high school, my high school had this electronics program, and my teacher learned about capacitors, resistors, how to tell what the colors of a resistor is, how many ohms it does, and all the farads and stuff for capacitors, and taught us how to build circuits, and then we went into like waveforms, like sine wave, square wave, all these waves, and we got to hook it up to speakers, through an oscilloscope and kind of see how everything worked. And I took like as many of those classes I could take, and our teacher was like this stoner rock guitar player, probably, long hair. I didn't know it at the time, but now I know, he's definitely a stoner.
Now you know what that means, yeah.
Yeah. But he taught us so much about electronics, and the physics and stuff behind it. And that's kind of, where my love is. They try to force you to play instruments in elementary school and stuff. I tried to play the saxophone. Didn't really pick it up. But yeah, I wish I could play an instrument, but not really the instrument type. But yeah, I mean, I love listening to music.
Now, has your ear, like becoming a sound man? My personal opinion is that sound man is, in my eyes, for me, would be the least position I'd ever want to be in in a large show. And that's because, I mean, sound men, they get shit on all the time, man. People think they know, well, I can't hear it sitting over here. And it's like, hey, you know, we're in a giant fucking 6,000 seat concrete building. What the fuck do you want me to do? You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I you know, sound men that's like a special breed of person that's able to like, to just tune all that shit out and keep it going. But have you noticed in your own ear, like picking up a lot of the sound men, including, you know, being around Chris, you know, they can pick out certain decibels that they got to scoop out of a mix, and I don't know, that always intrigues me so much that I mean, is that something that you've learned over time, or do you just kind of fiddle with it and figure it out?
That as well, you know, everything's proprietary, you know, there's not one thing that, hey, this is the concrete way it's supposed to be done. You know, if it's working, it's working. Yeah, there's some bad concepts that you go off of, but you know, I've had some great mentors through this journey. Chris Forsyth being the first one, you know, he wanted to teach me sound, and I was like, nah, fuck that, nah. I'm gonna do lights and production, and I'll just do, you know, nah. And then, you know, he was showing me sound, you know, real hard the year that he passed. So I'm forever grateful for him. And then moving forward from that, other people in the company, like the other Soda Jerk employees, helped out a lot. I had a lot of friends that helped out. Andrew, who does sound for the Descendants, he and the rock band The Who, he showed me a lot of things, you know. He's like an old school type, you know, physics only. Let's not do compressors and gates and stuff. So I've learned so much by different people and just try to soak it all in, you know. And there is some right and wrong things, you know. There are frequencies in your graph that are problem frequencies that, you know, hey, this is what this frequency causes, this is what this frequency causes. But here's something, you know, I know it's in this range. And Andrew told me one time that he said, you just go get a little soundboard and get a microphone and make as many of those frequencies as you can, and try to get them by, you know, hear them by ear, guess what those are, you know, and pull out your whatever meter and look at, you know, what are these frequencies spiking and whatnot, and then you can pull those down. You got to figure out what it's coming from. Is it coming from a microphone, or is it coming from a guitar mic or a vocal mic, or the snare mic fell down and hitting on some guy's foot or something, you know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a puzzle. I love it, you know. I do think, you know, like, my ear does get trained the more I go, but I also feel that it changes too. You know, I look at some of my old mixes, I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that I mix that. Or, you know, I'll look at something more recent and I'll go, oh yeah, that kind of sounds a little better.
Nice.
You know, for the last 2 episodes, we had 2 guys in each episode, 1 guy in each episode that were both Art Institute guys. And I just want to point out to our viewership that fucking John Rose is the alternative to that. This is, you can also learn this craft by starting at your local venue. I mean, because it is not
no
a small
free sale here.
No, right? And for you to be able to fucking belly up front of house at fucking the Fillmore Rocky Mountains and shit, that is no small thing, dude. You know what I mean? You must have a skill set you can back up. Otherwise, nobody would fucking let you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, what's cool too is, you know, we all had our yearly reviews right for AEG right before the shutdown happened and stuff. And during that review, you know, they had asked me, hey, do you want to start doing sound here at the Mission as well? You do it for all our other venues. A lot of people have recommended it. You know, do you want to? And I was like, fuck yeah, you know,
fuck yeah, dude.
And you know, do in the newest venue in Denver. And then all this happened. So I'm sure they'll have me back, you know, in the future. But I'm looking forward to that a whole bunch.
Well, fuck you. I'll miss you in the grid.
No, I'm still, man. I'll do a stage.
Yeah, you double dipping bitch. Whatever.
I'll do. No, not even, man. Like, no, because they don't allow like riggers to be stage hands because they don't do all, you know, because it's just not fair. But you know, I take any job that's available for the production, because to know the skill is good, and
Yes.
you know, and I'm there to work for the show, you know, in whatever department is needed.
That's
You ever
why
think-
you're a pirate. That's why you're a pirate, John. Miss you, brother.
Do you ever think about going on the road?
Yes and no. I wouldn't mind it nowadays. My kids are old enough now, you know, almost teenagers, and I would love to. I've been asked by many bands in the past, and I've always had to turn them down because of my situation. I've been asked by 10 Years. I've been asked by Highly Suspect. I've been asked by some of these, you know, big names, Grammy Award-winning bands, and like telling them like, "Hey, I'm not available." You know, it's like the hardest thing, because that's like really I really want to go into. But I do not have a problem at all being a local guy either, because
Right.
I get to see all these concerts, different concerts, and all these different venues, and then my family and friends, and everybody's here. You know, I'm not washing my butt with a wipe in the bathroom. You know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you
Not
can
having
sleep
to
in your
hold your
own
turd
bed.
until you get to a rest
Yeah.
stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not having to wait to take your shit until you guys pull over for gas or something.
And you never pull over because they can go like 800 miles, like one tank of gas.
I better go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I'll shit tomorrow.
Hot box it. Hot. What do they call it? Hot something. And you
Trash
shit in a bag. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't be telling everybody our secrets, bro.
I'm bagging it. You see a trash bag on the side of the road, don't pick it
Don't
up.
fuck with it.
So when you go,
It's
Go
better
ahead,
than
Christian.
dumping your. I'm sorry. It's better than dumping your shit on a bridge, man.
right,
Like
right.
some buses
Yeah.
have done. I'm not gonna mention any names.
Wow.
So when you go back to Colorado, you're going to be in the Springs. You're going to stay up in Denver.
Actually, I'll be in between. I'm going to Castle Rock.
Nice.
That's where the kids live. So it's kind of, I was driving from the Springs to Denver. I did that for almost 2 years, back and forth every day, every night.
Yep.
And it's nice because I have a gig buddy that lives in the Springs, and he's Watson. He's on you know, a lot of the gigs with me, and so we'll trade off driving, or I'll drive one day, he'll drive the night. You know, so we're not. Sometimes those drives home are really heavy-eyed, and you know, glad you made it
And
home
that
from
fucking
Denver
sucks,
to the
man,
Springs.
with the fucking gap construction and
The
shit,
gap,
man.
yeah.
Fucking,
I'd have to leave,
you know,
like 3 or 4
commuting to
hours
Denver for
early.
gigs is not an easy thing. You got to be committed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got to be committed to fucking to really work Denver as much as people like you and I do. You know what I mean?
So let's see. I'm sure you guys are familiar with somebody we lost recently. Back on February 28th, we lost Randy Sanchez,
Dude.
fellow
Yeah,
musician,
fucking crazy, right, dude?
and pirate. Man, I found out just a few days ago. So big shout out to Randy and his family, man. I'm gonna miss that guy.
Absolutely, yeah. I love talking to him after shows, and he always put on such a great performance, and always melted my face, you know, with music and stuff. And he loved what he did, and he was such a humble guy. You know, you'd say, "Oh man, you rocked it and killed it," and he'd be like, "Oh really?" You know, I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are awesome."
Relax, bro. You fucking
Yeah.
you did your shit.
Yeah. I think he had a daughter too, you know, and I think
Yeah,
he used
there's
to
a
talk about her a
GoFundMe.
lot.
There's a GoFundMe
Yeah.
going around right now to benefit his daughter. So
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
you can check out a link for that in the riff rag, I think, maybe.
Yeah, we'll find something. Maybe we'll try and put it up on here or something. Yeah, Randy, I listened to Randy, you know, through the Fanatics and Burn Like Hell. Burns Like Hell. Those are the two bands I know him most from. And I'd seen him on a few occasions. Then he started working over at World Arena and Pikes Peak Center with us. And I started talking with him, and I had no idea. it was the same guy that I was used to seeing on stage. And I remember talking to him, and he was talking to me. This was right around the time when Chris had passed, I think. Or maybe it was right before or something like that. But we were talking about Malachi, and he was talking about his, you know, how he plays music and all this. And he never really mentioned anything about what he did. And anyway, I think I was talking to Keith Kieran, And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, man, there's this cool dude I work with, and his name is Randy Sanchez. And he's like, dude, that's the guy from fucking Burns Like Hell, man. I was like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, oh my God. He's such a cool guy, man. He's going to be sorely missed. And he was a great worker. We used to do the 4th of July down at Memorial. And then on the 5th, we did 5th in the Clouds up in Woodland Park. And I don't know if it was the last time I did it or one of the last times I did it up in Woodland Park. We were putting up the wind walls on the pop-up. And, Randy probably weighed $150 maybe. A very big guy. Well, he had a hold of one of the wind walls, and the wind was whipping that day, man. And it grabbed it and it shot him off the side of the stage.
Holy shit!
And he was holding on to it. About I don't know if it almost took his finger completely off or what, but I remember he hit the ground and he finally let it go and he walked off. And I went over. I was like, Randy, man, you okay? And he's like, just give me something. And he took like some paper towels and he wraps up his hand. He's like, I was like, is it bad? He's like, yeah, I think it might be bad, but we got to finish this load in. I'm like, dude, you go get it looked at. He's like, no. About 20 minutes later, he's like, man, I think I got to go somewhere. He's like looking all pale and all this. And so he ends up getting like, I don't know, it's like 10, 19 stitches, something like that in his hand.
Oh my God.
And he comes back. He's like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm like, dude, he was all excited for this gig he was about to do with his band and everything. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cancel that. I was like, oh man, that's too bad. But that's one of my favorite memories of Randy.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, he's gonna be sorely missed, man. That guy was awesome.
Yeah, he was. Fucking pirate.
Yeah, totally.
So
Crazy.
Let's see. I think go ahead, Christian.
I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but I just recently found out that you were with Chris that night. I don't know if you want to talk. And
No. We totally can. Past year, I've been going to therapy and stuff, talking to therapists and stuff, trying to just get myself better because his death did affect me a whole lot. I felt responsible for it and whatnot. We had a rap show that night. It was I don't remember now. We had a rap show. It was an easy night, so we were just chilling, drinking.
Yeah.
He's having pickleback shots. I would drive him into work. I'd pick him up. It was on my way in. I lived out in Peyton at the time, and so I'd drop by, pick him up, swoop into work, and then I'd have a few beers and I'd sober up, and then he would have his. And then he would have his.
Right.
However many, his Happy Meals, what we called them, right? And and then I would take him home. He didn't have to drive. I got him home. It was on my way. With no inconvenience whatsoever. That night, we got into my car and we were driving home. He was abnormally quiet, and I was like, "Are you okay, man?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm all right." So I was like, "Okay, cool." He's mumbling, he's being his drunk self, just the way Sizzle is. And so I get him to his house, and we have this routine where he's just like, "I love you, man. J Rose, thank you so much. Oh man, we're doing great. This industry is awesome." He just the most loving guy. I would tell you he loved you 40 times, and he'd get out of the car and stumble across the front of your car and get up his porch and stuff. And for whatever reason that night, I was in a hurry to get home. So I was like, "Come on, man, let's go," And then so he got out. He's like, "All right." He's like, "I love you. I'll see you tomorrow." I was like, "Okay." And then I back up and I drive to the end of the street and I look back and I see him like kneeling down on his porch. I'm like, "Oh, he just dropped his keys or he's fumbling down, And then I turned the corner and went home, and that was it, man. He passed away right there on his front door, and I felt guilty for it for the past forever. He was like a father figure to me. He really, really was. We were really close and tight, and been through a lot together. With the passing of his dad and stuff. I was there for when they had to tell him. I think it was at a Malachi show.
It was.
Wow.
And it's the dude was just. I think about him all the time. I have a tattoo and stuff, and it's one thing that I talk about to my therapist a lot because something that drives me to do good in this industry and to go further is Chris Forsyth. Is him because
is that because of the faith he put in you as recognizing your potential and your talent, your innate talent?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. After he passed, you know, we had Hell Week coming up, and we had like Guar, and I think we
Oh
had
fuck yeah, that was right.
something else. It was something with Tane or something. I don't know, something gruesome. And you know, and he had passed mid-month, October, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know what to do, you know. And they were like, "Can you do it?" And I was like, "Yeah," you know. Like he showed me a whole bunch, and I was like, "Yeah." And then like I had people looking at me like, "I'm taking this guy's job that just died, you know, that just passed away," and now you know, it was a lot of like stress to handle. It was a lot of like stuff. So with that came like, you know, not being able to manage my emotions and whatnot. And
Not being able to take time to fucking grieve, man.
Right,
a
for
friend.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it affected us all. You know, I mean, Brian, I know you played in a band with him forever, and you know, and you're like family. And at the Black Sheep, we were all like family. You know, we would go to Waffle House or whatever afterwards, and all get a, you know, whatever, or we'd go to Taco Star and get a breakfast burrito, and then go home. You know, there's just so many Sizzle stories. You know, he was starting to write a book about his life, and it was so cool. And he was such a good writer, and I just had, he was the music industry to me. I thought he was the coolest person. He did so many cool things. He almost pissed on Little Richard in fucking LA off a balcony. You know, he's
fucking riot house stories.
he's just insane. You know, I do what I do for my love of it because of him. For sure.
That's awesome. That's
You know,
awesome.
I couldn't, you know, and I've always known that it had to have affected you in ways that nobody could understand, just in that whole aspect. And then coming in and kind of, you know, having his job after that. And I mean, I can only imagine how much it all
yeah, that had to be some kind of serious fucking shit to deal with, man. And you know, I'm glad it's you, man. I'm glad it's you. I think he would be glad it's you too. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
you know, I think about that a lot too, because he was talking about going to the Denver venues and stuff and working up there because he knew. I don't remember what people he knew specifically, but they had asked him to do some gigs up there. So to kind of continue his legacy to where he would have been at, you know what I mean? Like, hey, maybe he would be in the position I'm at, where he's doing Fillmore and Ogden and
Right.
Mission Ballroom, you know, because he is this known sound guy by all these bands around the nation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His memorial was the biggest event we've ever had at Black Sheep. You know, it was just so packed that you couldn't have everybody indoors.
Right.
He really affected everybody, and people like him carry the music industry, do it because we love it. And you know, I think that us road dogs, us gig workers, are, you know, lifers are a part of that. You know, that's what we live for, and whatnot. A live music event and a concert is the only place where you can get that, or like a sporting event is the only place you can get that feeling and that endorphin of that
It's
love.
that fucking
wow.
magic, man. We understand the fucking magic aspect of it, man. It is all magical, man.
Yeah.
To get people together, to get people all together in a room, all in tune with the same sounds and rhythms, and it is something fucking special, man. And if it gets in your fucking blood, I mean, there's no helping you, man.
Right.
Pirate, dude.
Yeah, and you know, I commend you for taking those gigs right afterwards. And I say that because, you know, Chris was the epitome of the show must go on. And for prime example was the night when he did find out his father died. We were on stage, and I don't remember if it was you, Jay, that kept coming up saying you had to tell him something, or who it was.
Yeah, I was like,
but he's like, man, I'm doing a show, you know, and finally you got his attention, and you took him outside and told him. And I remember thinking, what the fuck is going on? You know, there wasn't a whole lot of people there that night, but he came back in and he told Todd, our drummer, he said, you have to finish singing the set. And then he walked back out, and he was dealing with this, and none of us knew what was going on stage. We had a couple songs left, so Todd finished it. But Chris, being who he is, made sure he came back in and made sure that we were going to finish that show, you know, no matter what. It didn't matter if he was going to be up there with us or not. So I commend you for doing that, because he was the embodiment of that, man. And you know, again, I know it wasn't easy for you or isn't easy for you, you know, but
It wouldn't have been easy for anybody in that
Yeah,
situation.
for sure.
He would have made it inside of his house, and
right.
daughter could have found him or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? It was out of my control. You know, it would have happened regardless if I was there or not.
Yeah, but
it's very true, man.
you
It's
know, you
very
got,
true.
and I hope you've experienced nothing from love from the whole community, man, because you
I
deserve it. I
have.
mean, it's certainly, you know, none. I myself, I'm sure I can speak for a lot of people. We certainly would never think it was your responsibility or anything like that, you know. But I can only imagine what you've gone through over it, you know, and you know, I don't know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I've come to a point in my life where I could deal with it and kind of,
good.
you know, enjoy the positive times we had instead of kind of always holding on to that the night that he passed away.
Right. It's funny you say you guys used to go to Waffle House. You know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but back in '99, Chris moved down to Mississippi and New Orleans with me. And we were down here for a while, and my stepdad came and picked us up from the bus station, right? And the first place he took us was a Waffle House. And Chris never meeting my stepdad. My stepdad is he's a military guy, you know, he's a captain in the Air Force, kind of, you know, Chris. And well, Chris had no shame in saying how much he hated Waffle House. We're in the middle of this Waffle House. He's like, I can't believe he took me to this fucking redneck goddamn place. He's like, what do you mean steak and eggs and the fucking goddamn 3 o'clock in the morning? It was so funny, man.
Look,
Oh
no,
my God.
Chris will always let you know it's shit.
Dude.
Oh shit.
We used to have we made up a Twitter one time, Chris shit Sizz says.
Yeah.
And when he would say something, we would tweet it on there because it's just insane what he would say.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
and you
time.
know, the whole thing, Brian and I, our very first episode was it was a tribute to Chris because Brian came to me, he was like, hey man, I want to do this podcast, right? You know, and I'm like, fuck, dude, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's do it. And he's like, well, you know, the first show is going to be about Chris, and it's good that that's how we started, because we started out the show talking about shit we know about, and we continue to talk about shit we know about. That's why we got you on tonight. You know what I mean? We're talking about shit that all of us and all of in particular, the friends that the 3 of us know are completely affected by. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But man, I mean, it's good to talk about this in this time frame because you know we're coming up on our, you know, we're gonna be hitting our first year anniversary doing this shit right here. Our little fucking, you know, local cable access fucking fucking podcast.
This is great. I love it.
But you know, I mean, we get a chance to fucking talk about our friends that have affected our community, you know, in such great ways. I mean, the fucking shows that the 3 of us have been involved in, that we have brought to how many thousands of people to enjoy, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, and Chris was a huge part of not only that aspect of mine and Brian's life, but, you know, bands that we were all in together, or in other, you know, I was in a band with Chris, Brian's in a band with Chris, you know what I mean, you know, yeah. And it's he's one of those people that just really, really influenced this town scene way more than anybody is ever gonna realize.
Right.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to find someone to match that potential for what he had, you know. You know, we'll get there. I want to go back to throwing like a Sizzle Fest every year or two. You know, kind of let's get all the local. That
sounds like a great
together.
party.
Yeah. You know, so we'll see what
awesome,
the first one was awesome. I wish we could have continued, but I think, you know, with concerts coming back, I'm gonna try to get at it. Yeah. Do something with that.
Hey, so listen, like Chris was saying, our first episode was our ode to Sizz. We actually ran it on October 14th, which is the day he passed. But this year, you know, obviously we do all this is all pre-recorded. We do all the editing after the fact, so it wouldn't affect anything if you ran anything that night. if we do like another a Sizz thing, man, we'd love to have you on, share some stories. And
Hell yeah, absolutely.
I want to get
I've got
some,
plenty.
yeah, right. A lot of people do, and I think it'd be great. I know that's it's a couple months down the road, but
have you ever mosh pitted inside a limo with Chris Forsyth? I don't think so. No, there's some crazy shit we did.
Stories that I want to share with the public, man, but they're pretty fucking good.
No, the public needs to know about some of these shenanigans because they wouldn't believe it if it was in a movie.
No.
Oh shit.
No.
All right, John. So we have reached what we would normally call the lightning round segment of our show.
Okay.
Today we're going to do a sub segment. This segment's it's called Steakhouse or Gay Bar. What you're going to do, Christian and I are going to switch off here. I'll start. We're going to give you the name of an establishment. You tell us whether you think it's a steakhouse or a gay bar. All right, you ready?
All right.
Here we go. Number 1, the Golden Shower.
Oh. It's got to be a gay bar.
Steakhouse. Number 2, Fun Hog Ranch.
That sounds like a gay bar in Nevada.
You are correct.
Yeah, I've been there. Been to that one.
Next one's called the Cubby Hole.
Cubby Hole. Steakhouse.
Gay bar.
What the fuck?
The next one is called the Bung Hole.
Bong hole? Bong hole.
No, not bong. Bung.
Bung hole.
Bong. I'm about that bong hole all day. Bung hole. Gay bar.
Steakhouse.
What the fuck?
And here's my favorite one.
Some of these steakhouses should be gay bars.
This is my favorite one. Squat and Gobble.
It got to be steakhouse because
You are correct.
That's
sir.
correct. That's correct. Good job.
drinks you be getting at the Squat and Gobble.
I don't want none of those, man, because they're all fucking tainted. They're all fucking dosed.
Oh shit.
Don't you roofie me, bro.
Hey man, some gay bar is the funnest place I've ever been.
Oh shit.
All right.
They know how to party. I'm sorry, I
I've
didn't
been
mean
with
it
a
like
couple
that.
bands. Yeah, not judging as anything, but I've been there with a few bands at gay bars, and it's been the funnest time in the world, and it's many experiences for sure.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know. It's great talking to you, Jay.
John, man, I miss you, bro, man. Thank you so
I
much.
miss you
for
too,
coming
man.
on, dude. Thank you
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
coming on, man, and talking. I want to do more. I want to get more of my friends on here, like my production friends, man. We don't do enough production shows, and of course, it's not because we don't want to. It's because it's scheduling guests and stuff. But I'm really happy that we got to talk to you. I miss you. I know you. I know that you moved to Idaho and shit, and I know you were having some bad days out there, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're coming home, bro. I'm glad.
Thank
you're
you.
coming
Yeah. I feel better. I feel great. See that light at the end of the tunnel and
There
doing
you
self-improvement to what everybody should do, some self-improvement,
Right.
This is
they
the
can.
time for it, right? This is
That's
the
right.
time.
And tell me,
That's right.
during this past year, did you ever? Maybe this is kind of a silly question, but did you ever have thoughts of not coming back to gig life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what caused a lot of anxiety.
Mhm.
It's like, what if that was it? What if I should have listened to my parents and went to nursing school?
Right.
Like fuck that.
You're not
but-
Filipino, are you?
No, but I did take all my prerequisites to become a nurse, and I just decided rock and roll was the way I wanted to go. And when the pandemic hit, I can just see the parents in the back of my head, kind of like so. And it's like, look, I promise you, this is gonna come back. There's no way it couldn't. You can't kill an art like this.
No.
You just can't.
Yeah.
You can just make it really fucking difficult for us to get back to what we normally fucking do, man.
Yeah, but hopefully we can all find some positive out of this huge negative, of this, and move on and build even better concerts and experiences from this.
Right.
That's
You know,
the
and
thing, man. The thing for me is my fear is that we're not going to be able to offer up the same experience that people are used to, and people are going to have to fucking understand that. People are going to have to be willing to try to enjoy an altered experience to that which they are normally used to, in order for everybody involved in the experience, from concert goer to the people that put the show on, to be able to get something out of it. You know what I mean?
right.
Whether it be, your job, making your living, or you know what I mean? It's just the landscape, man. The landscape changing it's got me worried a little bit, but as long as people are willing to deal with it, I think we can come back. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
and
not going to be the same. I just don't think it's going to be the same.
I think it's going to be the unfortunate part about that is I think that with the narrative of the country right now and how much people are just at each other constantly, that our industry is so fucking needed right now to bring back some type of unity, some type of,
Yeah.
hey man, we could sit in a room together again.
America could surely fucking use a fucking benefit concert right
I'm
now.
telling you.
For fucking
Yeah,
sure.
it's the only place you can be next to someone who you don't know and give them a high five, a hug. You don't know anything about them. You don't know their political background. You don't know their religion, whatever. They're just the person next to you.
Right.
Like,
That's
you don't know what
jamming
they're
out to
posting
the
on
same
Facebook.
fucking song.
Yeah, and you'll probably never see them again.
Right.
But unless they go to every
moment,
concert.
Yeah. But in that
it's,
fucking moment, you guys are fucking like that.
Right. It's a moment everybody shares. And I think it's so needed for this, for the world, but certainly from what I can see in our country, just the bickering, the constant bickering and fighting over the
bullshit,
when it comes down to it, absolute bullshit. And it's so needed. So, I thank both of you guys for, we've all been in this life for a long time, and hopefully, we can continue it and bring it back stronger than ever, man. And it's because it's needed. This country fucking needs it. We've always been the ones here to, every time there's tragedy, we're the ones putting on a show to make people feel better. And right now, this country fucking needs it. And so
we're ready.
We're ready. So. I think it's going to happen pretty soon.
I hope so.
I think we're looking at some cool dates coming.
So, man, thanks again, man. Thanks again. Even though you can't tell us what the fuck is up, I'm cool with that. Thanks again for coming on, John, man. And like I said, man, I miss you, man. And hit me up when you get fucking back to Colorado, brother.
Hell yeah, man. I miss you guys. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Anytime you come back anytime you want. And like I said, if nothing else, you'll hear from me here in a few months, and we'll set something up. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take it easy, guys.
Ready. All right. So that was Jay Rose. Always a good time. It was
great talking to him. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's always awesome talking to him.
I can't wait for him to get back.
I can't believe he's in Idaho. That's fucking crazy. Right. Yeah, he looks great, man. He definitely looks like he's taking care of himself. Yeah, I'm sure he can't wait to get back to work. So anyway, normally we will play a song or a video from whatever band we did in this episode. Obviously, Jay Rose not in a band or anything. Lover of music, but no music in his portfolio
repertoire. Yeah.
Right. So, and we touched a little on the loss of Randy Sanchez. So we thought we'd pay a little respects. We play a song from his band Burns Like Hell. The album is In the Beginning, and we're going to play the song Last Day of the Sun.
Randy, besides being a musician, was also a production guy. He also worked with us on several gigs.
Right. And he'll be sorely missed. What a great guy. So yeah, we'll have a little moment of silence before the song, and the song will play. And just paying our respects to Mr. Randy Sanchez. You'll be missed, buddy. We hope to see you guys next week. Have a good night.